Welcome back to a Mindful Mess podcast,
where we try our best to be mindful, even if we're still a little bit of a mess, baby.
I'm Armin.
And I'm Cinthya.
I hope everyone is doing well today. I wanted to say thank you for the views, for the new subscribers, for the new followers, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate you guys. We're super grateful. We love you. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for all the support from family, friends, fans. We love you. I wanted to mention you can listen to the audio version wherever you find podcasts. It doesn't have to be Apple Podcasts anymore. Wherever you listen, the video version is here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Okay. Our Instagram at AMindfulMessPodcast. Yes. Follow us there, reach out to us there, and then at Gmail at AMindfulMessPodcast@gmail.com. Is that right?
Yes, and I wanted to say thank you so much to all the new Instagram followers. We started with like 4 and now we have 16, and that's so exciting. And I'm planning on following you guys all back. I just haven't had time.
Right.
But yeah, make sure you guys follow us on there because we are starting to post more.
Yes, and we'll engage with you guys too. Absolutely. Is he okay?
Yeah, he just hit himself.
Show his hair. Show his crazy hair.
His hair's
he doesn't let us brush him.
Hi, buddy. It seems every time that me and you record a podcast and are focused on something, he likes
He needs the attention. He needs a little bit of a rub, and then he'll go back.
But let me just mention how I took him on a long walk today. I took him to Starbucks to get a cappuccino.
Yep.
And what else?
He loved it. He's been tired ever since, except for now.
Oh, okay. Bye.
It's okay. We don't need his pillow anyways. It's a poo-poo pillow. We got
scammed.
We did get scammed. These pillows looked a lot nicer on Amazon, but I didn't want to go through the process of returning them. So it is what it is.
The deception.
It is what it is. Are you doing good today?
I'm doing really good. I love my makeup today. Make sure you follow me also on Instagram at GeminiiCin and on TikTok because I post makeup looks all the time.
Yeah, make sure you go on our TikToks because we've been posting a lot more videos there, trying to get on and pop in there. Mm-hmm. And we will make a TikTok for a Mindful Mess podcast. We just don't know what to post because I overthink.
Me too, though. Me too. We just want to make sure that the content that we put out is like 100%, not 50%, you know?
Absolutely. And then when I talk about engaging on social media, we didn't know exactly what we were going to talk about today. So she posted on her story. I posted on my story what the topic should be.
Yes.
And you guys chose it to be love languages. So that is going to be a topic for today's discussion, love languages. Mm-hmm. So a little intro on love languages. Love languages is a concept created by Dr. Gary Chapman. And he is a lifelong marriage counselor. And he actually wrote a very popular book on this, The 5 Love Languages. And it's from a while back. I think it came out in the 90s. But the concept is very, very popular.
Okay.
Because it's pretty much how people are in their relationships. Absolutely. So there are roles that we play. Okay, so I'm going to go over the 5 love languages. And we're going to go over which ones I am, which ones you are, how that complements, how that's negative, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the first one is words of affirmation. Second is acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So those are the 5. Here, let me recap. And you try to think which one you are. Okay. So the first one is words of affirmation.
Okay.
Where you tell your significant other how much you appreciate them. Just kind words of love. Acts of service. So you you don't say it, but you do things for them. You cook, you clean, you get them gifts, that kind of thing. Receiving gifts is you want to get gifts. Yes. You want to be showered with
flowers,
material stuff. Yeah. Flowers, not a bad thing. You just want that appreciation shown to you in that way. Quality time, so spending actual time together, doing some deeper talking, connecting on that level, going on dates, that kind of thing, not just sitting on your phones like in front of the TV.
Yeah.
And physical touch, so more romantic, more sensual, hugging, kissing, that kind of thing. So those are the 5. Do you want to start first on which ones you think you are, and I'll tell you if you're right or wrong?
Sure.
It's not right or wrong, what I think.
Yes.
So which ones are you?
I'm definitely, especially after hearing you explain it, because I always want to say I'm all of them, but we can't pick that. So I'm going to pick top 2. I'm definitely going to say quality time and physical touch 100%. 100%.
Okay. Why do you think that?
I love to be like loved on. I love hugs. I love kisses, and you know that.
Yes.
I just love the physical affection, and I've always been that way, even with like my family and friends. I'm very like huggy and stuff like that.
Yes.
So that's why I'm definitely physical touch and quality time. definitely because I need that one-on-one connection, you know, because you can hang out with someone all the time, but there's a difference between spending time with someone and spending quality time with somebody.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And I agree with those. And I agree with those for two reasons, because we've argued about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't show you enough of the physical touch, or am not the type of person to be all over someone.
Yes.
So I've had to learn to do that in my way for a successful relationship.
Absolutely.
So making sure I do hold your hand, touch. It doesn't mean that I don't love you. It's just like something I'm not used to.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? The quality time one. So we do need to spend deeper conversations, more time together, walking with Spencer and talking, date nights,
yes,
and finding that time for ourselves. Because when you are in relationships, as time goes on, obviously, like, at first, everything is like sparks and flying, and you are
the honeymoon phase.
Absolutely.
So
and then
lovey-dovey.
As time goes on, you lose some of that.
Especially,
and you lose that quality time.
Sorry to cut you off. Especially when you move in together, or if you have a baby, or just like huge life changes, you can just get really comfortable.
You forget about it.
Yeah, and it's not because you don't love that person anymore. It's just because you're so comfortable being with them that they're your best friend.
Exactly.
So you're just...
all the time that you spend together is fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you forget that quality time is different from that time that you spent together.
Correct.
So having that quality time, having that deeper, meaningful connection without phones, without a TV, just one-on-one. I agree. You do need, that is you to a T. I agree. I agree.
What about you? Even though I'm pretty sure one of them, like 100%, the other one, I'm like,
So the top one for me is acts of service. Acts of service. So I get caught up into doing that towards her a lot because that's not her love language, but I'll do it all the time. So I'll clean up all the time. I'll cook dinner, laundry, take Spencer out, this, that, just service type stuff. And because that's my way of showing love, it's not always the best way because that's not your top two, but it is for me. So it is something that you should be doing for me type of thing.
Yes.
So I get caught in the middle of that because I'll do a lot of acts of service and then I don't do enough quality time. I don't do enough of the, touch, physical touch part. The second one is hard for me to think of which one I think I am.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
So I guess for me, as I actually thought about it when I was at the gym, is words of affirmation.
I was going to say that, yeah.
So being told you love me, being told that the stuff I'm doing is good or that I'm improving in certain areas. So I think that's my top two.
I think
definitely words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Needing to hear it type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny that we're not the same on either of those.
It's so funny.
We're not the same at either of those.
I fully understand why you say you catch yourself doing acts of service because that's just your comfort spot. Like that's how you've always shown love. So
there was a lot of fights in the beginning because I would throughout the week show you through acts of service and I'll do so much cleaning, I'll do so much of this, and in my head I'm like, she knows that I love her because I'm doing this stuff, but the way you feel is like he's not showing me enough physical touch, he's not spending quality time with me, so he doesn't love me.
And it's not like I didn't appreciate or I don't appreciate the acts of service because that's one of his top qualities and I love that so much about him, but it's almost like I need those needs met and my needs are not being met with the way that he's choosing to love me. I need to be loved in the way that I want to be loved, and same for you.
Yeah.
So acts of service, I'm really bad at that. Like I'm really lazy and I'm really messy and I'll own up to that, but I try to cook for him or clean the bathrooms or little things like that to really put myself in check. Like these are the things that I need to do to show him that I love him.
Right. Because even though we're in a relationship, we are still two different people. So I have my life going on and what I want to do in life, my happiness, my purpose. Then there's you, your happiness, your purpose, what you want to do in life. And then the third one is both of us together, our purpose and what we want to do together. So it's finding that balance. So you're happy in the relationship, I'm happy, but we're also doing things for ourselves too. So as much as I love acts of service and doing it, and that's pretty much I think how I was raised. We weren't really emotional on that level. Like I said in other podcasts, we didn't wear our emotions on our sleeve. It was more of I'll get this done for you, and it shows you that I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm comfortable with, and I'm pushing hard not to only do that.
Right.
It's super easy for me. It's
of
super
course,
easy, obviously.
You've done it your whole life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then it's hard balancing those two roles because my life, your life, our lives together.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. So that's why it's not easy being in a relationship. There's 3 parts to it that you have to juggle at the end of the day.
And I think that's why date nights are so important, because that is when you can really put yourself in check and be like, okay, this is the day that I'm really gonna show I'm sorry, getting mumbled, that I'm showing those love languages that my partner needs.
Yeah.
Even though you should still be doing it throughout the week, but I understand, you have work and you have kids and stuff like that can get in the way, or you just have a busy lifestyle. Yeah. So it's so good to just maybe at the end of the week check in with your partner to see like how you're doing. And we've been saying we're going to do that, but same thing, like we get caught up in life and then we're like, oh crap, like we forgot. Yeah. We forgot to do a check-in.
It is important to keep the communication open on how you are doing, because I know that I can fall back and be comfortable with how I do stuff compared to how we need to do stuff to be successful. Yeah. So we should do more check-ins.
Of course.
Yeah. Maybe we can do check-ins on this podcast or before the podcast. Sure. So then, because it's every single week, every single Monday, don't forget. But we can do that. The communication is key, because if I'm not doing, the physical touch aspect, or what was the other one? The quality time. Yes. That you need to tell me, or if it's vice versa, I need to communicate it, which is hard for me. I'm still trying to learn how to communicate and let you know how I'm feeling. Yeah. Absolutely. So do you think I've improved?
Well, I was about to say, you've like come such a long way. Okay, cool. Like when we first moved in together, like I literally thought, like, does this man even like me? Because he was not physical with me in the sense, not in like the sense of sex or anything like that, in the sense of hugs and kisses and stuff like that. Right. And I just love for my man to be like all over me. Right. So it was definitely something that I was like, it made me question like your true feelings for me. But then you explained yourself, like through my whole life, I didn't show physical affection, like to my family, like hugs and stuff. That wasn't common. So I'm like, okay, well, your background and stuff is so much different than mine. So exactly. And then in other relationships, I wasn't that way either. I wasn't lovey-dovey. I didn't express how I felt about that person all the time, that kind of thing. So then it came into our relationship in a negative way. So I had to change it. But I don't think it's such a negative way. It's just like a learning experience. Not so much negative. Yeah. Absolutely. But I can see why you would say it's negative. Yeah. But and you too. Yeah. Yeah. We both improved. Guys, and I'm proud of us. I'm still lazy. Like. Obviously we get those days, but it doesn't define us every single day. Yeah. Yeah. You do an amazing job. Thank you. Because it's funny, because I'll sit on the couch or I'll be on my phone and I'm not showing that like touch or cuddling with you, but I still love you to death. But I know in your brain you're thinking, why doesn't he love me? Why doesn't he fuck with me today? Type of thing. Is that true? Sometimes, I mean, I've also tried fighting those thoughts, because it's so easy to start thinking that way. Then you get into this loophole of bad thoughts, like he doesn't want to be with me, he doesn't see a future with me, like all these negative thoughts, when that's not true. Right. Yeah. So I always say this in like every podcast, I feel like, but just have so much patience for your partner. Patience. Because it's always a learning experience, not only for your partner, but like for yourself too. Absolutely. Because I feel like we are soulmates. You are my best friend for sure. And we have so many things in common, but you have to remember that you both come from completely different areas. Yes. We're literally from completely different sides of the globe too. Yeah. And we've grown in such different kind of households that you have to remember that influences you at the end of the day. Even if you are 27, 28, 30, 40, doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to keep that in mind when you're continuing to grow with your significant other. Now, when I think about the other ones, like receiving gifts, me and you, like, we love giving each other little gifts, and I try to do that to show you I love you, but it's never been a top priority for me. Sure. Having a gift, giving a gift. For me personally, I definitely love giving gifts. Yeah. But you love giving. I do give. Gifts. Yeah. I just love buying. I just love buying things in general. That's why. But and I mean, I try to like buy you gifts and stuff, but we mainly do it, I feel like, on special occasions.
That's right.
But there's times where you've like brought me flowers or, brought me chocolate or like vice versa.
Every now and then to show you that I'm still loving you to death.
Yeah. So, and I also wanted to mention for gift giving, it doesn't necessarily have to be something materialistic.
Right.
It could be like a love letter. If
a love letter.
Your partner's love language is gift giving. It could be like a chocolate bar that you picked up on the that you picked up from the gas station.
Making something, if you make something from scratch, that's one thing that I always struggle with too. When I get gifts, I want it to be super meaningful and I want it to be worth something. And I know we had an argument. Was it last Valentine's Day? Last year? Because
now you're bringing it up. Now you're exposing yourself.
Because it's true. It's true. And I learned from it. I didn't have that much money at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well, did I make dinner and stuff?
I don't remember. I
did something, but we get each other like little
gift, yeah,
just a little gift
or a card.
And I was too focused on the fact that I didn't have that much money, so I couldn't get her something nice. Yeah. And that's not the point. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get her a Rolls Royce, obviously. So that was like,
really? I'm just kidding.
One day. So I had to come with terms that like it didn't matter. I could still get her something little, and I know you'd be super appreciative. And I think a lot of people would be from your partner.
And that's why I was so upset, because he didn't even have to give me flowers, because flowers can get expensive too, like $14.99 for like a bouquet. Like no.
Right.
But yeah, that's why I was kind of upset, because I'm like, you could have just gone to the dollar store and like gotten me candy or even like, I don't know, like a cheap rose from the gas station or something, but yeah.
Exactly. So even though that's like the last on our list, receiving gifts, it's so important.
Yes.
There's different levels to your love languages. We just have like a top 2, I guess.
Yeah.
For ours. And speaking of kind of where we come from and how our parents influenced us and other relationships influenced us, I think switching over to what roles we play in our relationships.
Yes.
So there are 3 main roles that you kind of fit into or fall into when you're with your significant other, given those past experiences. So for me, not showing that emotion with my family, not saying I love you, not doing that often in other relationships, having toxic relationships, has pushed me to be what is called the fixer, right? Yeah. So the fixer is basically like the parent. I'm trying to fix you. I'm trying to guide you in the right direction. I'm trying to push you, motivate you all the time. I'm trying to get things done for you, which in turn is not good for that person, because you're pretty much babying them. Yeah. Which is not a relationship. You're their parent, right? So I fall into the fixer category.
For sure.
There are 2 other roles. The other one is the fragile one. So it's like the child of the relationship. So you depend on the other person.
Definitely me.
If they're the fixer or whatever. Yeah. And then the third one is the supporter. So that's the one you want to strive for. That's the partner role, where you're trying to help your partner through everything and you're trying to be there for them and keep their love languages in mind, but you're also not micromanaging them. You're not telling them what to do on this time or do this or do that. Sure. It's the entrust that you have with them. So you're trying to build toward the supporter role. Which role do you think you are? Because I know for a fact I'm the fixer. I've always been the fixer with family, with relationships and that kind of thing.
Definitely. What was it again? I'm sorry.
The fixer, the fragile one.
Fragile one. That's why I'm like, I blinked out. Definitely the fragile one.
Right.
100%.
Why do you think, what has influenced you to fall into that role?
Because I definitely depend on my partner too much sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I guess.
Is it because of how you were when you lived with your parents? Is it something they influenced you, or is it because of past relationships that you've always been in that role?
I think both.
You think so?
I definitely think both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have they done to kind of push you to that role?
To be like fragile?
Yeah.
Well, in past relationships, it was just like really toxic. And I would leave my happiness
up to them.
Okay. Yeah. So the only way I was gonna be happy is if they were happy, and I never put myself first. And same with my parents. Like, not to say my parents were bad parents, but I always like take their opinion so like fragile. Like, yeah.
It's like you want your parents to
support you, approve of you.
Approve of you. That's the main thing. So because I'm the fixer and the parent and you're the fragile one and you're the child, you can see why we get into arguments, and you can see why we get into disagreements, because I'll try to overly guide you. I'll try to motivate you a lot. I'll try to give you things you can do, podcast to listen to. I do a lot to try. It's not necessarily trying to fix you as a person. Yeah. It's just trying to like guide you into a certain way when that might not be what you want to do in the moment. That might not be what you want to do at all, type of thing. And then you're the fragile one. So then you're always looking for me. And then I feel the need to continue to do that behavior.
Because you love me.
Yes. But I think we've grown so much that we're pushing toward the supporter role, the partner role, where we're not micromanaging each other. It's more built on trust and where am I going with this? I'm trying to find the right word for it, where we're just uplifting each other instead of trying to say, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then you're saying, I need this, I need this, I need this kind of thing. But it's going to take even more work, I think, because the supporter role is what you need to strive for. And it's hard because I personally don't like being micromanaged. So then I micromanage a lot of other things in turn, weirdly enough.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What do you think we do well to get us to the supporter role?
I was going to say, so one thing I am really trying to work on is just listening to him. So being supportive in a way where I don't have to put my opinion in there. So if he says, I'm like feeling really sad about this. Right. And me being like, well, you need to be positive. Instead of just listening and being like, okay, I'm here for you. Why are you feeling this way? So talk less, listen more. Right. Yes. What about you?
That's good advice for me too, because in arguments, when it comes to the fixer role, I'm not fixing it in the right way. So I'm fixing it in terms of, let's get over it. Let's move on. Let's do this. Let's fix it so we can go on with our day, instead of stopping, listening, understanding your emotions and supporting you in that moment, so then we can get past it faster. So you can see like the fixer role is not actually fixing it in the long run, because you are in the fragile moment when we are arguing. Yes. So the fixer role is not, the fixer and the fragile role are not two roles that you want to fall into all the time.
It's giving toxic.
That's right.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I always try to push stuff on you too, because of my fixer role.
What do you mean by that?
So like, sometimes we've gotten into arguments where I'm like, did you go to the gym? Do you want to go to the gym? Because I know you want to, and I want to motivate you, but then it becomes too much, because you probably feel like I want you to work out as much as me, to do this, to do that. But that's not going to happen, because you are your own person. And I have to trust that. I have to trust that what you're saying, like you want to go to the gym and be more healthy, is what you will end up doing. And that's hard for a fixer, But
I think a healthier way that you've worked on that is like, do you want to go to the gym with me today?
Yeah, rephrasing it.
Yes. And being supportive instead of just saying like, well, are you going to go to the gym this week? Yeah.
Exactly.
Almost like throwing it in my face.
Exactly.
Which he's never done it like that. But I'm very sensitive.
Right. Yeah.
Something else I want to work on.
Yeah. But that's just a fragile role.
Yes.
Coming from past experiences and trauma. I'm trying to think. I think in past relationships, I also was always trying to fix that person, because everyone always has something that is going on in their life or wrong. No one's life is perfect. So I always find myself focusing on that thing and honing in on that thing, so we could build a perfect relationship. But that never happened, because I'm always focused on fix this person. Yeah. And people don't need to be fixed. You just need to hear them out and support them through their journey. As you can. Exactly. Yeah. So do you want to bring up like your depression and anxiety and stuff? Yeah. Because when it comes to the fixer role, it'll be super easy for me to be like, get over it.
Not get over it, but
or say things that won't even like help you. Trying to figure out why you're down,
so
why
I'll
you're
say
sad.
like,
You know?
I'm really sad, and he'll say, well, why? And I'm just like, I don't know why.
I'll say dumb shit like, did you
But you
drink
don't mean
enough?
in a bad way.
Well, when you say I'm not feeling good or I'm not feeling it, some dumb shit I'll say is, did you drink enough water today? Because
That could be part of it, though.
it could be part of it, but that's probably not the main reason.
No, for
it's
sure.
probably like how you're feeling depressed or you're feeling down during that day, whatever it might be, something happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not coming from a positive angle from me when I say those type of things. And that's just the fixer part of me.
But I think that's also why it's so important if your partner has like depression, anxiety, like for example, like I have premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which I'd love to do a topic on that, because
PMDD?
that has affected our relationship so much, and something that we're still really trying to fix and get better at. But you definitely have to like do research on what your partner's going through, because it can be so confusing, and it's even confusing for your partner. So like yesterday I got really angry at him, and I really just think I was throwing a bitch fit because of my hormones. But it's so hard for me to tell you that, and because I don't even understand it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think we should really I'm so sorry, like my words are not good today.
Well, I was just going to say, I love that we're doing these topics, and these topics are important for podcasts, because then you get to see how much goes into a relationship. So
much.
how
So many
we deal with
factors.
our body images. So that's just like how I deal with it in my life, how you deal with it in your life, communication, how I deal with it, you deal with it, and then how we come together, couples therapy. And then this one, the love languages and the roles we play. There's so much that goes into a relationship, into a healthy, positive growth kind of relationship, you know, because it's super easy to say, oh, I don't fuck with this person, we're not supposed to be together, and end it. There's some times you need to try.
Sometimes
you need to try these things. You need to try to work it out, because you might end up on the other side actually together and happy. You need to remember there's so much that goes into it. And that's one thing I learned from couples therapy. It's not this one thing or this thing or this thing that is putting our relationship down in the moment, or whatever it might have been in the past. It's all of these things combined. So one day my communication might not be good, and that leads to an argument, or one day I'm not showing you your love language, and that might lead to it. So there's so much that goes into it. And that's why I'm happy we're talking about this, because I feel like that's an important thing to remember. And we're going to talk about even more stuff, because it's never ending. It's never ending, because we deal with a lot of stuff. So
did you want to go? I think maybe we should give some tips on how to show those love languages.
How to show those love
because
languages.
We talked about gift giving and how to do that. What about like physical touch? What are some ways that you feel you've improved on that?
Right. So good question. I think I've improved when it comes to physical touch. So
he has a lot.
In random times, if we're out and about, making sure I hold your hand, hug you, kiss you. Just at random times, not just when we're on the couch or we're at home, just all the time. So trying to do it more. Also telling you how I feel about you, and telling you look amazing, because I need to voice that stuff more, and I'm trying to, because I know you look amazing. Your makeup looks amazing. You always look amazing. I know that, so I have to voice that so you also know it, because you're not going to read my mind. So that's one thing I'm trying to do with physical touch. And I think we'll have a topic on sex that is an important thing that we also learn about our relationship and how we differ. And that's something I also try to do in our sexual life, is to try to show you that I still absolutely am attracted to you, and that I love you, and showing you in that way, because that's also important.
Super good, juicy topic.
So juicy.
Coming soon.
Juicy. Wet. Just kidding. That's nasty.
Stop.
What else? So another one was quality time. Do you think we've improved on that, or do we need to improve on that?
I think lately we've been pretty busy, which, like I said, that happens. But overall we try, I think like once a month we said we'll do like a date night. Where we really just like, we pick a place we want to eat, that we both want to eat at, and we like put our phones away, maybe take a couple pictures and talk, and go see a movie. And then also to reading our love notes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
We've done a good job on that. So we've decided to do it once a month, but because it's continuing so well, we might ramp it up and do 2 days. It's whatever your preference is, and I think one day has worked for us because I really love those date nights because it pushes us back to like kind of how we were when we were first going out together, because we are big foodies. We love going out and eating. We love just going to Target and walking around. That's quality time for us too, and talking about what we can get for our house even if we don't get it. And I enjoy that kind of stuff.
And you can also, like, if you have kids and stuff, you can also just do that at home. Like, you guys can have like a little picnic in like the living room or dinner, a special homemade dinner, make pizzas or something. You know, that's a good way to make that quality time with your partner.
It's really, really very important to put your phone away and not be distracted, and to be on social media or to be texting someone back. You need to remember, it's hard for me to remember too, is that it'll be there no matter what. Your social media will be there no matter what. That text will be there, that call, it'll be there no matter what, and you can get to it at the end of the night or at the end of the day. So don't stress too much about that. That's really important to remember, because you need to have that deep dialogue. Even if it's an attention, even like look up things you can ask each other to get on that deep level. Like, how am I doing this week? How are you doing? Actually talk about it. That's a good part of the communication part.
We've done that before because we've been together so long. Like, we stay talking and chit-chatting. But sometimes it's nice to like Google like some good questions that you could ask your partner.
It's not a bad thing. If you don't know exactly what to talk about on the deeper level, because not everyone knows how to get to that level. Words of affirmation for us is the love notes. So hearing you say the things you appreciate that I've done is super helpful because of words of affirmation. Because you tell me you love me all the time, but when I hear those acts of service that I did that you appreciated, it's awesome. And the words of affirmation for you too, like letting you know how I feel about you. I think we've been good about that. Have we? I think so too. Have we always been good about that?
Words of affirmation? I think so.
I think so. I think
we've been pretty vocal about it. For me, I struggled with you as far as like telling me that I look like pretty or not, or like nice and stuff. That's for me like words of affirmation too. Telling a partner, and same for him. Like, I like telling him that he looks handsome and that he looks like nice in that shirt, which you should do with your partner too. Not just the ladies deserve compliments. Guys deserve compliments too.
Also, don't say all the time that your girlfriend, I will say for the guys, that they look cute.
Oh my god.
Or just your significant other.
So crazy.
Cute. You can say that because I think they know what you mean, that they look good, but don't say it all the time. Say beautiful, say gorgeous. Amazing. Tell them what you like about them. Like if they're asking about their hair, makeup, or whatever it might be, actually look at those details and tell them what you appreciate.
He stay hyping up my makeup. I'll be like, babe, look at my makeup today.
Always, always, because you'll make videos and like they're crazy, they're lit. I love them. And then we're not really going to talk about receiving gifts because we don't do that often.
We did already. Yeah, we kind of talked about that.
But it's not like one of our main things. I wanted to talk about acts of service because that's like the biggest one for me. And the way I show my love and appreciation. How do you think you do? What acts of service do you think you do to show me that you love me? Because that's a big one for me.
Huge one for me is definitely cooking.
Yes, you've been making dinner a lot, which I love.
I also love like serving his plate. Like, I'll be like, sit down and I'll like, I got it. Or
you set up the table.
Or set up the table, or just get us a drink, or like,
I will say, you also, when I'm gone all day, you do the laundry, you do clean up, you clean the bathroom, which I don't like doing. Unless we're doing it together. So I appreciate all that. Those are acts of service that I love.
Not sweeping though, not using the Swiffer though, because that's your job. I'm just kidding.
Clean the floors.
He loves cleaning the floors.
Yeah, I do. And then another big one for me is making the bed. So when I come home and I saw you make the bed, that makes me happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, I'm definitely like, for me, it's like, I'm going to hop back in bed. Why do I have to make it? But that's something that he's taught me. And also that my mom has taught me, is always make your bed, because it just makes your day so much better.
Absolutely. And with that, when I see that you made the bed, I know that you're doing a lot better mentally, and like your day is going a lot better. So that's another reason why I appreciate it. I can tell
that's so true.
I can tell your mentality is different. So this was nice. What a nice talk. What an uplifting talk. Absolutely. So rate yourself when it comes to those love languages. See where you fall in. See where your significant other falls in, because you'll be amazed at talking about this and seeing how you differ and how you're the same.
Yeah.
And how you can change things up to help your relationship grow.
Make it stronger.
Right? And what roles you fall into. If you're the fixer or the fragile one, helping each other get to a point where you're both a support system for each other. And it's because of past experiences. Again, how you grew up from your parents or family and relationships, making sure you understand those things so they don't mess up or you don't harbor resentment in your relationship. So you understand that this is an equal thing. So you're both supporting each other. Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Absolutely. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure you find us on social medias. Like I mentioned earlier, our Gmail at AMindfulMessPodcast. We'll be making a TikTok soon. You can listen to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you rate us, give us that 5-star review, write us a review.
Subscribe.
We would love to read those positive reviews. Even if it's like feedback, constructive criticism feedback, we would love to, because we're only 4 episodes in.
Yeah,
right?
we still getting better.
Yes, we trying. So the last thing we're gonna do, as we always do, actually we did last time, but we will always be doing, is reading past love notes from each other. And again, put in the comments, DM us, email us if you want to write a little love note for your significant other, whoever it might be.
Give them a little shout out.
Give them a little shout out and we'll shout you out. We'll read it and we'll put it on our wall. Absolutely. So we have our little trusty fishbowl with some in here, and we actually have love notes we wrote recently in our little jar that we're gonna read today, and we're gonna add it to this. Should we add all of them?
I think we should.
Yeah. Here, I'll pick a random one. I'll read it, and we're gonna put both up. I'll pick one. I think this one is yours, so I'll grab this one. Here.
Thank you.
Pick one. I can't read this one. I'll read it. Should I just read it? Explicit?
Is it X-rated?
It is.
What does it say?
Should I read it and put it up?
Just
because
read it out and then we'll bleep it out. Go.
Okay, that's fine. You wrote to me the best Sunday night. Sexy. And then with a smiley face.
I definitely wrote that.
Hey, we're grown.
That's
we're a
true.
couple.
Sex is
and we have sex. Deal with it.
That's how babies are made.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how we made Spencer.
Mine is a little bit more
Is that yours or mine?
I wrote for you.
Okay.
And I wrote opening up more about how you feel.
Oh, that's nice. That's perfect. That ties in with today. I tried to be more open with you so you know how I feel about you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Ain't that nice?
Perfect.
So we'll put these up when we are heading out here. We really appreciate it again. Next week's episode, again, every single Monday. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell. Wherever you get your podcast, make sure you save the show so you don't miss it, okay? We love you. We appreciate you. And as always, be kind. All right? Bye, everybody. We love you.